Hey, what's up, guys? How are we doing? I'm here with your Motocross Designations Cliff Notes version. So I'm going to go over kind of the format, explain to you how this race works, what it's going to take to win it, and maybe who's going to win it. So anyway, guys, if you want to get in shape or if you want to deep dive on the Motocross Designations, check out the shows that myself, Coach Rob, and Hopper did. They're on the channel. And we go into almost every team, breaking down the European riders and letting you know exactly kind of the nuts and bolts of it. This is not that. This is going to be just a quick rundown of some storylines and some things to watch. And if you want to find Coach Rob at CompleteRacingSolutions.com, he'll help you get your program. He works with vet riders. He works with programs that the problem with vet riders is we don't have a lot of time. We're working, we've got kids, we've got families, we've got all these things. He builds a program that works around that and maximizes your performance within your daily schedule. He keeps kids from overdoing it and burning themselves out. You know, this epidemic of Epstein-Barr as kids turn pro. Well, Coach uses science and numbers and monitors all that stuff, so he builds a stronger, more durable athlete for any kid turning pro or just wanting to be a bigger or like a better, stronger version of themselves. So anyway, guys, hit up CompleteRacingSolutions.com. And when you check out, if you want to do his programs, they start anywhere from, I think, like 20 bucks a month, 15 bucks a month, something like that, all the way up to a couple hundred, depending on what kind of a program and how detailed you want to get. Do you want personal sessions with Coach or whatever you need? So hit him up, go over there and check it out. And like I said, let him know Cooksy sent you. And if you need some supplements, not talking about just proteins and stuff, if you need to get your blood work done and get like human growth hormone, testosterone replacement therapy, hit up the Steel City Men's Clinic. That's steelcitymensclinic.com. Tracy and Dr. Donaldson and the people over there are amazing. They're on the cutting edge when it comes to traumatic brain injuries. I think they even deal with some depression stuff. They do everything. They do red light therapy. If it's cutting edge and will make you a better version of yourself, the Steel City Men's Clinic, they work for everybody. They work for men, women, not just men. It's women also. Women do the hormone replacement. They do the HGH. Benefits them just as much. So hit up Steel City Men's Clinic. And if you want to make your garage look like a factory garage, hit up Epic Garage Designs. They can do flooring, shelves, slat wall. They'll make your place look so badass. Make you the envy of the neighborhood. So anyway, guys, without further ado, let's get into this Des Nations Cliff Notes.
I'm in the empire business.
Everybody love everybody!
You all know exactly who I am.
All right, guys, so the Motocross Des Nations it's a fun race. This is what they call the Olympics of motocross. When that's not actually completely true, because the Olympics is every 4 years. Ryder Cup is every 2 years. But if you want to get into the whole debate about that, I did a video with Coach Rob and Johnny Hopper. I think this race should be every other year. But it hasn't happened for the United States in a couple of years. So we're super excited. We haven't won in forever. This year, we have an amazing chance at winning. Let me break down the scoring system. So each country has 3 riders. You have an open class, which is just a 450. You have a 450 class, which is like MX1. And then you have an MX2, which is 250 class. Now, you'd think that you race against your class, but you actually don't. And that's why it becomes so important on who you put on the 250. Because the 250, so if say France has Marvin Musquin riding the 250. If Marvin gets third in a moto, and Justin Cooper's the second 250 at 12th place, well, we just lost a whole crap load of points because it's not like 1 point. It's a whole bunch of points. The 450s in the middle add to it. So it really did change the scoring up. So it really throws a wrench into this whole thing and makes the 250 guy almost the most important guy. Qualifying is on Saturday. They'll run you run with your class on qualifying. They run 40 guys, 40 teams. They race, and the top 19 qualify for the next day's race. The other one goes to an LCQ. So what they'll do is they'll do an MX2 race with all the MX2 guys, an MX1 race with all the MX1 guys, and then an open race. All individual races on Saturday. And I believe they score your top 2 finishes of those races. So if we go 1-1, we got first pick for the gate on Sunday. We have one guy DNF. I think they throw one out. So then the next day, you have three motos, one with half of the 250s and half of the MX2 or MX1s. Then the next one you have 250s and open, and then you have all the 450s together. So it really does throw a wild card in there. And you take your top best 5 moto finishes. You get to throw away one, so you can have one bad moto. So if, like say for Team USA, if Chase Sexton and Eli Tomac go 1-1, 2-2, and Justin Cooper goes DNF, DNF, they don't win. That happened to the Netherlands a couple years ago with Calvin Verlanderen took a rock to the eye, and I believe they finished 1-1, 2-2. And I think they finished second or third overall because they had a gigantic score because their 250 guy didn't get a result. It's like I say, it really does make for some wild finishes, some weird scoring towards the end, some team tactics. It's a fun race. I wish it was every couple years so it had this kind of feel like it does this year. I don't know about you guys, but I'm excited. Not just because it's in the United States, but because the United States is competing. We've got a legitimate shot to win. Some of the other strong teams, France is always strong in this race for whatever the reason. They put a lot of emphasis in preparing for this race. They've got Dylan Ferrandis. Although he's returning from the injury, I'm told it's not that bad, and I think he'll be almost 100%, but he hasn't raced all year. So what will his level be? We don't know. But the French guys always seem to rise to the occasion for this race. Maxi Renault was running really good and will be a threat to win motos. That's their 2 450 guys, which would be the MX1 and open class riders. I believe, I can't remember who's which, but they go against Sexton and Tomac. Their MX2 rider is Marvin Musquin. Marvin rode the final race at Paula, and he's good. I mean, he's easily going to be a top 10, top 5 guy on the 250 overall. They're going to be strong, and that's who I have as the favorite to win this race. It's not who I want to win the race. Obviously, I'm an American. I want the United States to win. But looking at it objectively, I'd say they're the strongest team. The Netherlands has Calvin Verlanderen, Glenn Koldenhoff, and I believe, let's see, who's the other guy? I believe it's Kai de Wolf. Let's see, Netherlands. But they're also extremely strong. Glenn Koldenhoff went 1-1 at the Des Nations here a few years ago at Redbud. If he can do that type of performance, they're going to be right in this. Calvin Verlanderen took a rock to the eye. If he can actually just get through this race and do okay, and if they can get 1 or 2 finishes out of Kai de Wolf, he grew up racing with Jet Lawrence, who has had a much better career to this point. I'm sure Kai de Wolf would love to put on a great show here. A lot of times these European riders, they know this is a showcase for their American. This is kind of how Hunter Lawrence got his ride. They saw him at the Des Nations essentially beat Zach Osborne, who was our national champion at the time, and that got him the Geico Honda ride, and that now we have the Lawrence brothers here. So you never know what this race can spur. It seems to be more important to the European riders coming over than it is to the United States. But I don't know. Tomac got his ass kicked, and he said he really wants to win this race last time that they were here. He was disappointed in the way it went. I think we're going to see Tomac go out there like a savage. I think Sexton never gives you anything less than 100%. And Justin Cooper, he's had a kind of a rough year with that foot injury. If they can finish this and win this, his whole season, it's a success. And nobody will say anything about the season. He'll just be remembered as a Des Nations champion for 2022. The defending champions, Italy, they've got Antonio Caroli, who's kind of on his way out. They don't look real strong, but they're going to be there. Australia is also a really good team. Jet Lawrence making his 450 debut. He'll be going against Tomac in the 450 class. Then they got Mitchell Evans. Mitchell Evans had a big crash at the final GP. I don't know how healthy he is. If he's 100% healthy, he's a top 5, top 10 guy. If he's not, this could be bad. It's his last ride on Honda. He's going to Kawasaki next year in the GPs. So they have a great shot at this. And then Hunter Lawrence looks to be the top 250 guy or close to it with Joe Schmoda and Marvin Musquin. He's right there. They're strong. And this race has some quirky things. And if you want to watch the race, it's on MXGP.TV, I believe. You just have to subscribe for one race. I don't know what it is, but I'm going to buy it because I have problems and I can't not watch this stuff. So, yeah, if you want it, go to MXGP.TV. They show everything. I believe they show the time qualifying. They might even show practice. They show the qualifying races for sure. And then they show everything on Sunday. Anyway, guys, and I've also started a new show called All Day, Every Day. And I'm going to leave a little clip here on that. I'm not necessarily talking about anything motocross. It's all day, every day. This week's episode was about Kyler Murray claiming he got smacked by a fan when in reality the fan was just trying to reach over and just pat him on the head or something and got him in the face. It was an accident, and they ended up getting the police involved. It was ridiculous. So anyway, here's a sneak peek of that. If you like it, I'll put a link in the bio. Subscribe, check that out. My next all day, every day will be addressing transgendered male to females competing against genetic born females in skateboarding competitions. There's been some controversy with that. Red Bull has allowed them to compete and take some money from the girls. And I'm going to talk about whether I think that's fair and what they should do. So that will be next week. So subscribe to All Day, Every Day, and let's get 2 channels going. I like this stuff, so let's keep going. All right, guys. Later. High-fiving a player that ran into the crowd. What? So the player, it's disgusting. It's disgusting. It's not assault. The player, if you want to charge this guy with assault, then I want to charge Murray with assault for high-fiving the other guy, because he's probably a quarterback. He's got a good arm, and I guarantee that high five hurt, that first one he slapped the guy with. So if you're going to charge this guy for trying to high five and missing and getting you in the face, I want to charge you with going over there and high fiving this other guy. You can't have it both ways, Kyler Murray. How about you toughen up? You're the leader of a football team.